It's designed to trigger a near instantaneous warning to police without a 911 call. ShotSpotter, the gunshot detection technology, has monitored Chicago's neighborhoods for more than 6 years at a cost of tens of millions of dollars. But is it working? Is it making the streets any safer? That's a high-stakes debate that will come before City Council's Public Safety Committee tomorrow morning. We sat down with the CEO of that company that oversees ShotSpotter as the clock ticks down on Chicago's short-term contract extension that's set to expire 2 weeks from tonight.
I canceled ShotSpotter. It's canceled.
That was the shot across the bow, a doubling down in May on a campaign commitment by Mayor Brandon Johnson to do away with the city's gunshot detection system known as ShotSpotter. The unilateral move triggered a months-long political power struggle in the city council chambers through the ranks of the police department.
I'm for technology that's going to help us get to a location quicker and help us save lives.
And deep into Chicago's most violent neighborhoods.
Officers responded to a ShotSpotter alert.
Under mounting pressure from city council members, Johnson agreed to a 6-month extension to keep the technology in place through the city's historically violent summer months and the Democratic National Convention. At $8.6 million, the extension costs more than the city paid for ShotSpotter for all of 2023.
Was it what you expected?
At ShotSpotter's Northern California headquarters, we sat down for an exclusive interview with Ralph Clark, CEO of Sound Thinking, the company that runs ShotSpotter. This was days after Chicago's violent 4th of July weekend.
When you look at 109 people shot in one weekend, nearly 500 ShotSpotter alerts, is ShotSpotter really being an effective tool in cutting down on gun violence if it's that rampant?
The purpose and design of ShotSpotter is to aid and facilitate the fast and precise response of first responders and police to get to the scene of gunshot wound victims.
Following a torrent of historically violent years, Chicago contracted with ShotSpotter in 2018, signing a 3-year, $33 million deal. The audio gunshot detection system is meant to instantly alert police to gunfire without a person having to dial 911. In March 2021, Chicago police responded to an alley in Little Village alerted by ShotSpotter. There, an officer shot and killed 13-year-old Adam Toledo as he turned toward officers with a gun, dropping the weapon a split second before he was shot. Mayor Johnson repeatedly cited the teenager's death as the impetus to do away with ShotSpotter. Inside ShotSpotter's Incident Review Center in California, the sound of gunfire is constant.
So you're looking at what, almost 30 gunshots there?
Correct.
A team of analysts rely on a network of acoustic sensors attached to streetlights and buildings.
A gunshot can only fly in one direction, so we're looking for a directional sensor pattern.
Thousands of sensors largely monitor the streets of Chicago's south and west sides.
A disproportionate number of your transmitters are placed in low-income, black and brown, non-white, very poor communities. You don't decide that.
We're placed where 85% of gun violence victimization takes place. That happens to also be at-risk, underserved communities that are often of color.
Days before Mayor Johnson canceled the city's contract in February, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office released its report on ShotSpotter, finding it failed to make an impact on arresting shooters. The ABC7 I-team has been reporting on the efficacy of ShotSpotter for years. Our most recent analysis of Chicago Police Department data from January 2018 through March 2024 shows the average response time from officers alerted by ShotSpotter is 8 minutes, 6 seconds. With just a 911 call and no ShotSpotter alert, data shows the response time takes 10 minutes and 48 seconds.
Time literally is tissue. So getting to these scenes, even 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes before a traditional 911 call that you may or may not get can make the difference between a life being saved or not being saved.
City data shows that out of nearly 145,000 ShotSpotter alerts between January 2021 and July 2024, just 7.1% found a shooting victim on the other end of that alert. Some city council members cite that data as reason enough to get rid of ShotSpotter.
About 83 to 88% of ShotSpotter alerts turn up nothing. And if I had an oven that didn't work 88% of the time that I turned it on, I'd be looking for a new oven.
The contract is set to expire September 22nd. By then, Chicago taxpayers will have spent a total of $53 million on ShotSpotter.
This motion passes.
In May, Chicago City Council voted 34-14 in favor of keeping ShotSpotter. Mayor Brandon Johnson continues to say he isn't budging.
I think we have to work with the mayor to find a reasonable solution that we may not 100% be agreeable on, but again, that most of us can find some solution and help the police department do their job.
Unless you got another tool that says, hey, give us something else. And the person that's most in charge of keeping us safe is who? The superintendent of police. He says he needs ShotSpotter as a tool, that he wants it. But yet somebody who is not an expert in safety says, get rid of it.
City Council members tell us, ShotSpotter or not, that money must be spent within Chicago's $2 billion annual police budget. Now, as the clock ticks down on the city's remaining days of the contract, Sound Thinking is preparing to dismantle its sensors on public property September 23rd. They'll have 60 days to remove the technology entirely. Chicago's contract with Sound Thinking has a built-in 60-day transition period. The mayor's office told us in a statement again, quote, during that 2-month period, law enforcement and other community safety stakeholders will continue to assess tools and programs that effectively increase both safety and trust and issue recommendations to that effect. But many city council members are determined to find a way to keep ShotSpotter in place. Tomorrow morning, representatives from Sound Thinking and Chicago's Emergency Management Center will present the latest data collected since March on ShotSpotter's efficacy.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.